Pressures of life make some youth give up on the battlefield. Them no one hold it and fight. God send me an angel, show me the way out. Competition day not the mirror, rule never fade out. God send me an angel. With you, God send me an angel. Oh, God send me an angel. Oh, God send me an angel. Oh, I got the music, know my pain. No enough of them want see me falling like the rain. Bola we are human being, but we are not the same. Bully pa family, cause we chilling can look for fear. These not call them name. Them never hold up on the battlefield long enough. Guess them never was man enough. One friend and family planning up. Think with me enemy if you set me up. Oh no, my heart heavy. Good things said they kill it already. My heart heavy. That's why me no left it heart skelly. Who to be trust you can't. Who to be trust you can't tell. 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 Can't let gun away. Me have it always. Even half a tree when time ago I car base. I feel protect me safe like when Trump a campaign. Who see them now? Pressures of life make some youth give up on the battlefield. Them no one hold it and fight. God send me an angel, show me the way out. Competition day not the mirror, rule never fade out. God send me an angel.
Give thanks and praise to the mystic laws of the universe and its protective functions and forces in nature that guide our thoughts and our paths in all ways that are lawful, correct, and positive. We do give thanks and praise. Federal constitutional law, Bill of Rights and Freedoms guarantees. Let us share some basic information. Again, honorable clarification. Now we'll say fundamental human right to travel freely. The federal constitution trying to secure that, but you have states where choose to impose their own rules and regulations, guides as law. Now, state law must comply pursuant to the fundamental human rights and freedom guaranteed by the organic Northwest Ordinance, Bill of Rights, 13th of July, 1777. So this information are for my people, whether upon the mainland out there, and probably not comprehend, when people are talk about right to travel. So I'm going to share some basic information where I give you that right to travel. Well, them are restated because it's inherent. However, the federal court restated, and then we find a case where under the New Hampshire Federal Court, Supreme Court, I guess, upheld, an appeal court upheld someone's conviction for operating without a driver's license. So we're going to touch base with that. Hopefully, we don't have to stretch out this thing too long. Again, I know how we are. Now, when we talk about the Northwest Ordinance, we talk about the organic. This is what them start with. So the Northwest Ordinance chartered a government for the Northwest Territory, provided a method for admitting new states to the Union from the territory, and listed a Bill of Rights guaranteed in the territory. So we now really ask none of these federal courthouse judge. Absolutely not at all. We have shown them law. You understand? And the Bill of Rights on the mainland, within where start their constitution, are that a law. But you have to express it. I think this was a problem where this dude lose a case. You have to express it well, clearly. Now, we said to exercise the common unalienable right to travel on the public right of way in the ordinary and lawful pursuit of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. I go on to say, pursuant to the Uniform Commercial Code Section 9-109, that's what them operate under. However, the code have to harmonize with said constitutional laws, which is maintained under the common law. So 9-109 says a transaction, regardless of its form, that creates a security interest in personal property or fixtures by contract. So you see the state or the government where you see out there, where I work for the state, them always are look an offer to contract or always make an offer to contract because they are in fact service providers. You understand? So them thing you have the clarity from our side. You have a little case where it's a HB 1778 FNA local as introduced 2018 session 182144 03-010. Now, this is a House bill, what I'm called 1778, and it's an act relative to registration of commercial motor vehicle and operators or driver's licenses. Operators/driver's licenses. Listen to the narrative. And it said, sponsors committee, the item can bring it up and the item can do their own research. Yeah, Marada just reason this way. Yeah, avoid too much. I already do more than enough work. I put the information together. So the item can choose to follow accordingly. Now it's the analysis. Listen carefully. This bill restates. That's the operative word in all of this. Wait, no. This bill, House Bill 1778, restates the right to travel and requires the Department of Safety to provide at no cost to all non-commercial automobile and non-commercial conveyance owner a decal. That means that I'm forget we a license plate, what I'm called decal. That's what you see me have on my original place for me about that before the police them at Elliston Road when the car was there in 2019 to 2021. They stole that plate. Tell us that these people don't go on know say something is attached to me, and man, they'll pay a lot of money just to get it. I don't know what that secret is. And I figure it out, I go and start order a lot of different things just to keep and just sell it to you people. But the brethren then detect that decal. Now them say them have to give the non-commercial conveyance owner a decal and identification card that state the holder is exempt from registering his or her private conveyance under the Uniform Commercial Code exemption for consumer goods and household services. So this is where we try to attain some clarity. Now, this bill also repeals requirement for certain drivers to acquire non-commercial driver's licenses. It goes on to set Section 1, Statement of Purpose. The General Court finds that the authority of the Department of Safety is limited to only the commercial user of the public ways. Listen again, they are limited to only the commercial user. That's, you know what I mean? That's why I say as long as I man not have nothing registered and I say me out there do commerce, them not have no authority. Not care what no judge said out there. Carry me in front of you and they gonna tear you apart. Because you are a mere public servant. Don't try going like a pompous to a judge in front of superior court justice such as I. I'll put your little ass in your place. Any one of you ones out there. Why? Again, you're a mere public servant. You have to operate with a bond will secure your conduct. You understand? And you have to talk to a sovereign man. So once the sovereign step in the court belongs to the sovereign. Case closed. However, you can't talk it. You better have record to verify them kind of sovereign claim there. You better have the record. And you see when you don't, Babylon for put you through the ringer, like how them put me through the ringer. 45 days, lock up in a general penitentiary. Once you have your act together, it should be judgment. Don't step out here unprepared. These attorneys spend millions of dollars at their craft. Years at it, some of them. So how you want to watch YouTube and run out from yip yap yap as if you know. Now man, leave that to the Nestorian king. I am the only sovereign here on this island and can easily demonstrate it. Yeah, man, with I am on seal of authority. You see, when the process of time move nature, then you're going to discover that nature is really the creator, naturally. There are the things that what I man do, believe it, me have say, boy, you know, at which level of meditation, you know, I was at that time. Now when you look on the word and say absolutely no man has done what I have done, then that is impressive. And the funny thing is that the government of Jamaica is totally aware and then just keep it secret. Them just ignore me, them just stay away from me, you know what I mean? And then promote the Maroons. The silly guy from that Maroons give them $3 million. And now hurricane come and the Maroon have no $3 million to give to their people. They had that money to give to who? And Japanese. Why would I want to be a Maroon? Well, only because I read it just a little bit and I might can write just a little bit, so I can never be a maroon. What is that? Is that a nationality? Like when I say I'm a West Indian? Ancestry? Is a maroon an ancestry? Think, people. Is a maroon a noun as a word, or is it an adjective? What them kind of use as a noun when them choose? Look it up etymologically. This is why we talk about clarity. And we like to be specific, so we deal with specificity. That's all it is. We above the average level. Sorry. Anyway, listen carefully. Again, the General Code finds that the authority of the Department of Safety is limited to only the commercial users. So the taximan and all of those people, yeah. Once another business for profit or gain, yes. Of the public ways, and that the corporate state employees have, by their silence, failed to fully inform the sovereign people. Here where it apply to, it may apply to citizens. Again, fail to fully inform the sovereign people of this state, which is New Hampshire at the time, that an automobile, not a motor vehicle, an automobile has been confirmed by Chief Justice Grimes in 108 New Hampshire 386 to be private property defined by current RSA revised statutes annotated 382-A or Uniform Commercial Code Section 9-109, and it's listed as household goods and customer goods, not for commercial use or for profit or gain. So these things are clarity. Further, the courts have found that corporate public servants who ignore their accountability as mandated in Article 8 of New Hampshire Bill of Rights, that's why we talk about the Bill of Rights, which is the fundamental rights and freedom here on the island, listen again, the corporate public servants who ignore their accountability as mandated in Article 8, New Hampshire Bill of Rights, have by their silence and failure to fully inform the sovereign people of the consequences arising from the corporate offer to contract is indeed silent deception and inducement by fraud. Now, and me make up this narrative in the people. So when I hear me use to talk this way, it's because me use the very same narrative where the court justices use. That's why my sounds are impeccable. Now, me are sure no, say on need for a type in House Bill 1778 and do not own basic research. One can deduce from all of these things and add to what I try to do and bring clarity. One never get me to do it for no. I don't do that thing no more. I structure my own thing, my own unique way, but again, we don't mind to share the information. You understand? Because what me structure and put together is, I don't know my style, always unique, but we have to bring clarity. Now, Section 2 would say right to travel, revised statute annotated, or at large, 26140 is repealed and re-enacted to read as follows. 26140, right to travel. Now, it said, for the purpose or purposes of this section, A, it give the definition of an automobile. Automobile and motorcycle mean self-propelled conveyance used for non-commercial travel upon the public ways. So you see, when you have your motorcycle, like your bike, and them talk about register and insure, I know it can't apply to me. Just like my automobile cannot, registration cannot apply to me. Why? Because I not have a motor vehicle like what them have talk about. Me and them talk two different language. What them a speak about in them legality, and when me a talk and I express this is law, and I'll show it to you later. Now, B, motor vehicle. So you see the distinction. An automobile is here at A, and B, you see a definition of a motor vehicle means any self-propelled conveyance designed and used upon the public ways for profit or gain in business or commerce. So once your automobile is out there doing business, it's no longer automobile. They'll deem it, very same thing, they'll deem it a motor vehicle. So these are distinctions where if we not bring these things forward, it will wash away and the new people and don't know nothing about these things. So this is what we call honorable clarification. When we say boy, we have the right to travel, we are talking on the federal level. Now the state have a way to do them own thing, but we can always dismiss them anyway, easily. Because they're not outside of the organic Bill of Rights on the mainland, just like how they're not outside of Chapter 3 here on the island, which is the Charter of Fundamental Rights and Freedom. We are talking about the express written chartered law. Yeah, this is where them subscribe their own oath or affirmation to uphold. This is why the lawful document that tells us the sovereign people. Most people have never seen a document express it this way. On the mainland, it's taboo to use the word sovereign. It's only a sovereign can be a sovereign and use this word like this freely, unrestricted, unencumbered, freely. Why? Because I'm authentic. I can validate it, and there is no court on this earth can refute my sovereign state capacity, because I have a certificate of fact to validate it. The difference that people, you understand? I'm never present an instrument where it's just my seal as the authority. Yeah, Jamaica, literally, I feel kneel to I. Which king abroad? King abroad have to watch me closely because them know, I have that crown. Literally. At that time I got manifest that glory. And I know it's not where you people think like how it's on TV. Check the bloodline. Check the ancestry. Check out there. Yeah, man. If your name is attached to a castle like how I can say, do the research and see if you can locate a Dallas castle here on this island. Then you might can speak. And I'm the only Dallas who is sovereign in his capacity. I mean, I teach it. Absolutely no other Dallas not exists such as I. I establish the house of Dallas. And as we go along, everything where Babylon take out there, I come forward naturally. Naturally. Yeah, man. Now, C as a definition, household goods or consumer goods has the same meaning as the Uniform Commercial Code found in revised statute Again, at large or annotated 382-A or Uniform Commercial Code, again 9-102. Excuse me. And shall include an automobile. Now, automobile and all non-commercial conveyance shall be exempt from the licenses and registration required for commercial motor vehicles. You can't want it clearer than that, you know. And this is what I'm going to use when I structure certain information. May I tell you, the clarity of everything and the information per se. Now, D, say operator or driver. Now you're going to get the distinction between a traveler, such as I, not a traveling man, just a traveler. Traveling man are those Freemasonic brotherhoods, lodge members, all of those kind of one. Mechanics, all of them. Them are the traveling man. When you say traveler, it's a much more higher level. Yeah, you have the secrecy were attached to it, but on the common Mickey Mouse thing. Yeah, at the esoteric level where you hear when I man speak. Yeah. So it's not common here on the island. Again, operator or driver means one who controls the movements of a conveyance upon the public way for commercial or business purposes. That's an operator or a driver. Now, E, I will express what a traveler is. Traveler means one who controls the automobile or other non-commercial conveyance. Full stop. Now, F, common law. When you use a common law, means the sole remedy of any controversy arising from or by the public use of household goods or consumer goods, such as an automobile or other non-commercial conveyance. Now, this kind of law, whether that will coincide with the Bill of Rights, coincide with the Universal Declaration on Human Rights. See? And this them want to hide from the populace. Them don't want to not have it, them don't want to not know it, and them not gonna show no how to apply it. And me not gonna just give it away neither. Sorry. But I'll bring the information so that them can be as creative as they choose to be. Now we are look on section 2 here where it says the Department of Safety shall provide at no cost every non-commercial automobile owner or owner of an other non-commercial conveyance with an appropriate decal imprinted with the words, if whatever stated in it, or you can use the Uniform Commercial Code and it's going to say exempt. Now I'm going to create something specifically this way. The Division of Motor Vehicles shall also issue all non-commercial traveler a photo identification card at no cost with the words exempt again printed on such identification card. The identification card is not a contract or a license or instrument that would require compel performance by the holder, and shall provide every law enforcement agency with notice of the holder exemption from the statutes that are required for a commercial use of the public way for profit or gain. Them thing you have clarity, you know. But this is going to blow over a lot of people's head. However, due diligence, our duty, you know. Section 3 says the automobile, not a motor vehicle. The automobile and all non-commercial conveyance are exempt from registration and taxation, and the owner of such automobile or non-commercial conveyance are exempt from the requirement of a license that is necessary for commercial use on the public ways. The owner of the automobile shall be considered to be exercising the common unalienable right to travel on the public right of way in the ordinary and lawful pursuit of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We are talking about federal law. Now, I can stop right here and go in the state of New Hampshire Supreme Court in the case number 2022-0031. The state of New Hampshire versus Joshua Andrew Howard. Now, the court on November 30, 2022 issued the following order. The court has reviewed the written argument, this is the appellate court, and record submitted on appeal, and has determined to resolve the case by way of this order. And it says, see, it would be Supreme Court Rule 20, subsection 2. And that would be a petition seeking a writ authorized. Well, there them can do the research. That's for personal. Number 2, well, the defendant Joshua Andrew Howard appealed his conviction following a bench trial, I guess bench trial, just a judge, not a judge and jury, in the circuit court, Murray J, for a violation level offense of operating without a valid license. Now, a man like me is some nonsense like this, violation level offense of operating without a valid license. Now, I'm going to say then, what law is that? That look like some code or some statute. That not look like no kind of law. You understand? The fundamental rights and freedom not dictate none of this nonsense. So you have to approach it on a level where you know play the game on them little nonsense de facto area. You have to carry them where the common law sit in a de jure area and let them prove what them claim. If them are say there is a what is an offense? Is it a crime? What's you know what I mean? You can argue these things all kind of way. And this is how I approach these things. Now, I share some, get some info because some of do my thing. When I look on these things, I go into the research and find them codes that I talk about, just for verify and see and get a comprehension. But again, I don't want this thing I got too long. So I go down to where I'm say to the defendant appeal the conviction. Okay, and then it said 3. The defendant state in his brief, a driver is employed in conducting business and a motor vehicle is used for commercial purposes. And the court said, we affirm, them affirm that. Then goes on to say, we note at the outset, which is the first instance, that the defendant has not provided a transcript of the hearing before the trial. Absent a transcript of the hearing, the court now must assume that the evidence was sufficient to support the conclusion reached by the trial court. You see what going right here? Because the defendant not have the paperwork to validate whatever claim he put out there, them have to go just work according to the procedural rules that is there. You understand? Then the court goes on to say, we then examine the court's order only for error of law. Error of law. Now, if this brethren here never have no, if, well, I guess him have an attorney, and as long as him have an attorney, this is the case where him gonna get. Cause I know some never tear up all them things. Them judge here, them justice here, and this court case here. Yeah, I would nothing for me express law while them I try express, you know, for them codes. So them always I got examine because it's a appeal court. Them I got examine the court order only for error of law. So whatever rights when have fundamentally, him don't express it, him not declare it. So them just assume saying now have none. This is what happened. Now again the justices goes on to say the bill, which is what I just read, 1778, that address the registration of commercial motor vehicle and operation / driver's license, the legislation was voted inexpedient to legislate and therefore does not apply to this case. You see how easy them dismiss it because them have an attorney that can play that nonsense game. It goes on to say, to the extent that the defendant argued that the RSA 2631 violates the supremacy clause of the U.S. Constitution, the United States Supreme Court has explained that the supremacy clause is not the source of any federal rights and certainly does not create a cause of action. So, all right, that's a fiend case blown. In not talk about the Bill of Rights. In the even go as far as saying the organic Bill of Rights from the Northwest Ordinance, which is first in time, is choice, and that very same Bill of Rights are what we are talking about now, because them can't do nothing without it. And you have to know about it and invoke it. So the approach right here, tear up the case here. That's all it is. Now we'll go on to say, nor has the defendant cited any case in which the United States Supreme Court has held that, listen carefully, citizens have an unfettered right to drive motor vehicle, you hear all of these? When we talk about the law, we talk about automobile and travel. Now we hear them talk about citizens. We are no, yeah, well, again, them not say nothing wrong because it applied to a specific class of people, which are the citizens. So when a man such as I, who is what you call sovereign, because I can't be a citizen, I'm just a sovereign. I cannot be a sovereign and a citizen. No. So them I make it plain to know say the citizen this apply to. And here is where I read it and share it with you guys in a section 1 where it says automobile and motorcycle mean self-propelled conveyance used for non-commercial travel upon the public ways. You understand it? I said nothing about no motor vehicle for non-commercial travel. It's a motor vehicle means self-propelled conveyance designed and used upon the public ways for, here is where the emphasis is, for profit or gain in business or commerce. So once you're out there on the public ways for profit or gain in business or commerce, then you're operating a motor vehicle. You cannot say your automobile is a motor vehicle at that time. You understand? This is clarity. And you're secured under the Uniform Commercial Code as household goods and or customer goods. You understand? Which is outside of the commercial process. You understand? So I don't think you have the clarity. So when you hear them down here, so now when I tell us, say, boy, motor vehicle and the drivers, that's applies to the citizen, literally. And then tell you that. It can't apply to the sovereign. Because I read what the document I said, then I tell the sovereign people. Why? Because them convert the sovereign people into citizens. And as citizens, them supposed to be damaged. As citizens, that they are pledged contractually until like me, them rebut that pledge and refute that pledge and terminate any kind of contract where enter into intentionally and knowingly. And you have to terminate it, but you have to know about it. You have to have the clarity. This is why, everybody not reach this level yet. That's why I'm able to talk how I talk and go on how I go on and my proper, my lawful. You understand? And the government of Jamaica, I keep me as them some kind of secret. I don't understand it, but me I coming down the court because I want my pro box. Me I come downtown at the Supreme Court because I want to make a scene. Yeah, and you don't know. Me I send an ancient ancestral spirit ahead of me for disrupt everything before me get there. So me not for do nothing. Every single one I want to go and be totally confused. Yeah, man. Literally. So when I come in, I just sit still and watch and laugh. And me I say it now ahead of time. Because once I go on, document these things to see if what me I say, I gotta go like that. And me I tell you, no, I just smitten. Yeah, and I'm nothing fancy or nothing crazy or not focus. No, I just a clarity that's always been there. Amazing. Now, I'm gonna touch back on this, so I'm gonna left out nothing at all. Again, the defendant na cite na case are held that the citizens have unfettered rights to drive a motor vehicle for non-commercial purposes on the public road. Rather, the court has recognized that, listen to this, the movement of motor vehicle, not automobile, over the highways, not what I'm calling it up here, sir? Like for this specific, them have a lot public ways. Them call it highway, we call it public ways. Is attended by constant and serious danger to the public and is also abnormally destructive in the ways themselves. Now, this is your opinion. This is some like a joker judge opinion. Your opinion is not law sodomite. Where you go with that joke? You think you could have tried all a man like I embarrass the mess out of your joker? Your opinion? Are you saying you're God? Are you saying your employees are God? Are you saying your government is God? What are you saying? Out of order. And I don't know why people accept them kind of nonsense here. It's because I have some little attorney where think them, well, the attorney them know these things, but them a work against the people. That's why they're attorneys, not necessarily lawyers. The lawyers are the ones that have said, Mr. Dallas, you're right. Mr. Dallas, you better come have a drink around here, sir. So we tell you about some other things, and then you don't have to talk nothing no more. Make the rest of them stay out there blind. I saw them are going to end up a deal with me. Literally. Yeah, man. Them now can't help but to invite a unique mind like minds to come have a discourse. The judge did try me, and the judge bowed 3 times. And when the judge see me again, I'm asked, who are you? The judge get upset and say, cycle. And me, I said, John, how them plan this for me? That day when me get psychologically, a two different police woman them set for me, then give me a lot of trouble, you see people. But now that, me look back at it now, me I say, Jano, yeah, a part of the journey. I'm quite sure them not gonna even dare try none of that with me anymore. Them never want me in them court, I got to fuss and fight for getting up for them court. Me I telling them that. First thing, I can't make them know when me I come at the court, I probably have to go disguise myself. So when I get in there, them can't lock me out and say bomb scare me, I have to come back next week. That's what them do me. The last time I got court. And tell them bomb scare, bomb scare. I'm like, these people lie. Yeah man, wicked them wicked man. In my case, them want to throw away, But it is impossible. So me I got inquire. It's just that I'm going to make an official inquiry because through my one name the court clerk Dave Kelly, I make sure him retire. I don't want him to work nowhere at all in a public office. I make sure him retire and go foreign go live. That way I can't hear about him which part him I work in a construction or anything like that. And just send him a little package, put it that way. Give him a strength. Yeah man. As well as when I draw them out like that, Babylon usually take them off the front line and put them somewhere where we can't find them again. I like them got like the brethren named Richard James Ayub. This little Trinidadian East Indian coolie type. Like them did a train him to be a judge. Yeah man, that brethren disappear. Him know say me have film file anywhere him there in the earth, him know say all me have to do is publish that document and film career. I gotta become questionable. You know that a lot of these judges who come in front me, them aware say me keep meticulous record, and when they mess up, them know it go. But them also know say me not there I try set them up and me not vindictive. Them know that. Yeah man, them know say all I want to do I teach them for bring them to a level to make sure people will reach my level not have the problem what me have. Everybody on a slave, everybody in a dance, and everybody on a citizen, and everybody interested in our politics. Not all of us. Even though, the sovereign ones, them very few, and by my platform, you can see that. We're very, very few, man, and go few away, Well, probably the clarity what I man have, make us stand up this way. Immovable, untouchable, with clarity, lawful. Yeah, man. So we give thanks. What else may have that can talk about? Boy, I mean, man love talk more time, man. Now, them say, in the absence of a national legislation covering the subject, which is right to travel, a state may rightfully prescribe uniform regulation necessary for public safety and order in respect to the operation upon the highway. We not operate on the highway of all motor vehicles. They have this right, and that is okay. None of this, what they must say, cannot apply to I or the West Indian. Specifically, the Awakans, it can't apply to no member of the Awak Indian nation because I am chief counsel. And from whatever I say is law, I am superior court justice. Here must title me sit down upon. I am that Nestorian king. I am he. Yeah, man. Clarity. Clarity. Now, them say those moving in interstate commerce as well as others. So they must say them regulate everybody outside of the sovereign. Them can't talk to the sovereign. That's why them have a problem with you saying you're sovereign. You can't say. You have to can demonstrate it. You better have it recorded where you can validate it. That's when You can, you know what I mean? And then you can go in there with no notary public. I talk about your sovereign. You can go in there with no justice of the peace. I talk about your sovereign. Want to get that nonsense? Now I hear people like to talk about authenticate and authentication, and authenticate mean to sign. That's all. So like when you see the Jamaica birth registration form, what we call a birth certificate, when you see it's duly signed and sealed, that means it's authenticated. Oh gosh, my people suffer for lack of knowledge, and them like to follow the foreigners, they say, as if the foreigners them know anything at all. Them properly enslaved, those mainlanders. No disrespect, and all of them enslaved. The ones them when me associate with are free mainlander them there. But the ones them wanna talk to me, them can't talk to me, them can't associate with me, them can't associate with my platform because they're properly enslaved, and if them associate with me, them are gonna lose them United Nations benefits, the privileges where them get the little checks, them are gonna lose it. So if you notice, you know, see no more mainlander look for me thing or a red, yeah. I call them out, man, and my truth, you know, pierce through the veil. So them handlers literally have to rein them in. You understand that all the ones them where you say go fireball me car is like a mash up them daddy house, car them that mislead the West Indian people, carry them all over the place. And assimilate with the West Indian when the West Indian are the only true sovereign out there until them subject themselves to the foreign citizenry. Now, this is clarity. Who out there can refute me? Which joker audacious enough? Which joker choose to express some audacity? Where are you? Uh, what else me can look at? What else? Them say accordingly we affirm the defendant's conviction. Yeah, you gotta lock his ass up because I'm a citizen. What a mess. Citizen and sovereign are two separate and distinct things. So you can't be a citizen and not try being a sovereign. That no work. You go and get your ass locked up. And if you say you're not a citizen, you better can validate it, not just verify it. You better can validate it. So them kind of energy you wear, when you don't have the clarity, when you get to the ask, whoop out there and wonder why. And then you look for me and dislike me, curse me out and say, oh, sovereign man do all of them things, yeah? And him say all of them things there, and in the same way, that's because me and one are the same. We're not in the same capacity. I'm telling you what I have done, but you people are terrified to do it. You run away from me and run to some foreign guys that tell you foreign nonsense. But right now, a lot of you people are under federal scrutiny. Federal agents are telling us that they want 5,000 US dollar from UNO, because UNO play with them paperwork. 5,000 them want from UNO, you know. And UNO can't defend it, and no attorney can help UNO. And me alone can defend that. But UNO want to give me $200 and $300 for defend on a $5,000 case. Better UNO go pay an attorney $20,000 to keep UNO out of prison. I now get involved. Because I just want the federal government and agent dislike me and then plan for me and then uno same one laugh at me. And I uno me a help, but uno not help me. Watch me now. Stay now on your own judgment. My cup is full. So me I share the information so uno can do anything on yourself. Really. Now what I want my aid. No, not for pay me. Because me I demonstrate my knowledge, you know. Me not one of them guru that we are telling all kind of fuckery and can't demonstrate nothing. Me I demonstrate my knowledge. Me I show you how me can go into the court and totally decimate that court. Totally take it over. I'll go in any court and remove any judiciary from their position easily. Why? Because I'm sovereign in my capacity. Are you? Now, we never touch upon this information at all about the Republican Reconstruction effort and the Democratic segregated Jim Crow law. We share them information there already, where it has said after the Civil War, there was a period of time from about 1865 to 1877 where the new federal laws were enacted that both created and protected civil rights for formerly enslaved and free blacks. So the civil rights were created for formerly enslaved and free black people. So you have free black people where the civil rights is there to protect them, and you have formerly enslaved people where the very same 1865 to 1877 federal laws were enacted that both created and protected civil rights for formerly enslaved and free blacks. This era was known as the Reconstruction era. Reconstruction was spearheaded by Republicans. Democrats and Republicans of the late 1800s were very different parties from their current iteration now. Republicans in the time of the Civil Wars and Reconstruction were the party of Lincoln and often campaigned or championed legislation and policies that attempted to grant all black people, but particularly black men, a more equitable place in society, in their colonial society. During the Reconstruction era, why did they need to reconstruct? Because them fuck it up, them mush it up. So them now I say, oh, we're the savior, so them I reconstruct and indoctrinate the people in a specific kind of way, like docile, passive slaves. During the Reconstruction era, the federal government passed the 1866 Civil Rights Bill, which was the first federal law that defined and protected citizenship for all Americans, regardless of race. And I should go on for share that information here where we talk say the Democrat and the Ku Klux Klan and them guys implement these slave codes when them take power, when them get the federal government. And I tell us, boy, all kind of restriction upon your fundamental rights and freedom. That's why you have to challenge these things and run these demonic sodomites away. Them man of God. Let them prove it. Blow them head off and let them prove it. Yeah, man. Let them prove it, man. Trick them a trick way all along. Now, again, Supremacy Clause established under the Article 6, Paragraph 2 of the United States or the U.S. Constitution. The Supremacy Clause enables the federal government to enforce treaties and create a central bank and enact legislation without interference from the state. So when all the state, I try to tell us, hey, them can charge you for driving without law. You tell the state, say, hey, dumbass, you speak in a separate and distinct language. Come on. Because the federal law said, you understand? And this supreme law of the land said, not your little state law or your state codes, because your state codes are only guise as law. Your state rules and regulations are only guise or color of law. It's not law. And I don't agree to it as law. So it can never apply. So there is no judge who can give us that thought. Why? Because the judge is presumed to know law, as rebuttable as it is. It applies all the ways to the appellate court. And they know I know these things. They know I am superior court justice. Yeah, them know my title is above for them one. Sovereign in my capacity. None can talk to me. Absolutely. None. Not one of my public servants can come in front and come give me a talk. You're mad? But it's only the sovereign can do that. And all of we are not sovereign. A lot of we might talk that talk and purport to be, but tell them to validate it. Tell them to prove it. They can't. That make them not credible. That's why I know me authentic. Me not have to try it. It's effortless. All me have to do is just be, and that is it. And the very same way how I am, are the very same way the item is, if the item choose. You understand? Not special about me. Not at all. That's the application of the information where, yeah, that's all it is. Not special about it. Anyway, the brave may fall, but never yield. And we say bold and brave. We say firm and strong. We say give thanks. Again, information, share, clarity. Never for the likes. I'm more for the love. And it's an unconditional love. We just have to, protect with energy so we can't open up ourselves like once upon a time anymore. Yeah, but we still are push the information for the ones that attain a little clarity. So when the one them are build, you know, them are built on solid foundation, on truthful information. Make the next man tell us say my judge and think him right. He can only offer an opinion. That's it. And if you have knowledge and the opinion is proper, then it's not a problem. But when you have knowledge and them come with their opinion, no, you push law down them throat and put them in a proper place. One of the things with this like with the Supreme Courts is that them endorse the doctrine of discovery. When them talk about foreign man comes in my land and I make foreign claim, this is why I am that Nestorian king. I am sovereign in my capacity. And me alone I gotta bring a claim. We're going to shook these people. Everybody else I play a game because them not have the clarity what we have. We are go to them core and listen. I always tell them what me I do before me do it and do it anyway and then can't stop it. Ask, non-talk it. Anything what them are gonna do and non-talk it, they must like do it outside of my knowledge. You understand? That means so them the outside of law. I am law. We just not comprehend it. Babylon know it well. And they make me look like say boy I'm arrogant. Cause I don't know this truth. And avoid this truth. So it make it look like when me I express it and I say, oh, him show off. Oh, him a madman that Oh, no. Just check. It's law. Yeah, man. One of the things when man have to cognizant that once you put anything in writing, it's it's assumed as contract once it's in writing. Always know that. So somebody always make an offer, somebody always accept an offer. You understand? All different variation that way it come down to. But they either only know it when it's formal. Anyway, give thanks for the time, give thanks for the moment. Again, therapy, philosophical reasoning, our style, uni, grassroots, I will keep it simple. Salute out the free people. West Indian paradigm, yeah, a walk in their nation, bold and brave, firm and strong. Stay up, free people, stay up.
Precious life, make some youth give up on the battlefield. Them no one hold it and fight. God send me an angel, show me the way out. Competition day not the mirror, ruling never fade out. God send me an angel. God send me an angel. Oh, God send me an angel. Oh, God send me an angel. Oh, I got the music, know my pain. No enough of them want see me falling like the rain. Well, we are human being, but we are not the same. Whole heap of family, cause we chilling can look for fear. These not call them name. Them never hold heap on the battlefield long enough. Yes, them never was man enough. One friend and family planning up. Think with me enemy if you set me up. Oh no, my heart heavy. Good things said they kill it already. My heart heavy. That's why me no left it heart skelly. Who to be trust you can't tell. 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 Can't let gun away. Me have it always. Even half a tree when time ago I car base. I feel protect me safe like when Trump a campaign. Who see them now see me lose it back no champagne. Definition of a conqueror, that's what I am. If them this me man me burn them like a flat iron. Them no like how me full of property like Matalan. Tell them say fi run up make me bury them like rent I am. Me want know how no sleep at night. Me see them and me feeling more them bite. Pandemic I show them up them colors so bright. Man never sell out and dread you right. Yeah, my heart heavy. Good things said they kill it already. Yeah, my heart heavy. That's why me no left it heart tell ya. Who to be just you can't tell. Who to be just you can't tell. Who to be just you can't tell. Yeah. Da na 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 na. Da na na na. Da na na na. What should you tell when you are buying new?
What go on there?
Be more careful, though you can find in a. I know anybody.
What go on there? What?
Pour my drink, I know anybody buy my dinner. So hard for just an enemy, hard for just a friend. Just a friend. Me nah lie, me love me family, but me not trust you all of them. All of them might sound fuck up, but that's how me feel. Big up and rule, cause up a sunny kneel. All of me long time brother from Ditchfield. Long time picture them a whole heap on the battlefield. Some of them feel with grudge. My dogs are the realest dogs, and my heart clean. Feel with love, and me medication sharp like studs. Dangerous skull, even them send me say the whole of them a miss. Go for the Psalms, them a send for the chalice. Them does a watch me like a radio analyst. But me unstoppable, remember me tell you this. In the music I'm like a fucking senator. Them are the fucking janitor. None of my link no regular. Mad sick, head no good like predator. What should you tell when you are buying new? Be more careful, though you can find dinner. I know anybody pour my drink, I know anybody buy my dinner. So hard for just an enemy, hard for just a friend. Just a friend. Me nah lie, me love me family, but me not trust you all of them. All of them might sound fuck up, but that's how me feel. Big up and rule, cause up a sunny kneel. All of me long time brother from Ditchfield. Long time picture them a whole heap on the battlefield. Some of them feel with grudge. My dogs are the realest dogs, and my heart clean. Feel with love, and me medication sharp like studs. Thank God I'm blessed, so bad mind can't defeat me. Every day just around me. When me cry out, him hear my plea. Yeah. Some girl work every day till them need them now. Some can't manage depression but turn pancreas. Some man sit down and now hope sufferation stop. Too much get a youth a fall for the system trap. Me learn from me little bit, me go feel when me want. No man a reap from the sick, no when me plant. Sleepless days, sleepless nights. One leap a rough road when we walk through. No man a win in advance. Dirty bad man, you no stand a chance. Me and Trace Skull collect the check them, let them see the few black be my pass. Anyhow, what you tell when you are buying new, be my careful, do you can find it now. I know anybody pour my drink, I know anybody buy my dinner. So hard for just an enemy, hard for just a friend. Who's your friend? Me not lie, me love me family, but me not just see all of them. All of them might sound fuck up, but that's how me feel. Big up and rule the cause up a sunny hill. All of me long time brother from Teachfield. Long time petrol them a whole heap on the battlefield. Some of them are filled with grudge. My dogs are the realest dogs, and my heart clean, filled with love. And me meditation sharp like studs.